to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated. It's true.
Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about...
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. This is The End of the Bench presents 15 Minutes with HRap. It is good to see you. Good afternoon, good morning, good night. It's always good to see everybody and anybody that taps in. Hit that like. Do me a favor. Hit that like. Hit that share. Hit that like. Hit that share. Hit that like. Hit that share. It is important that you do so, so it helps me expand the platform, reach more people. It is important. Now, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. It's even more important than actually watching the program, but I need you to watch the program because I do have information I think is beneficial to you. It is Monday. Today's show is, are we under a spell? You know, when you're speaking in biblical terms, you hear about the curse. And this and that and all these things that stop our progress. Well, I'm wondering, are we under a curse? A spell, simply because we seem to feed and feast on the destruction of our heroes. At one point in my lifetime, if you were a celebrity, if you were a political person, if you were a community activist, you were put upon a pedestal and you were admired. It seems as if in the 60s, Dr. King on one of those polls was 60% unapproved. 60% of the population didn't like him. 65 for the great Malcolm X. The Black Panther Party, I'm sure they had the same issues. What is going on in our community? Look, a month ago tomorrow, the president-elect was put in place. The next president was assigned, and we were put on edge. And now everybody, mess around and find out. That's been the slogan of the day. Mess around and find out. Mess around and find out. Yes, it is going to be an interesting time during his presidency. We don't know what to expect. Just by looking at the people he put in his cabinet, we definitely understand it's going to be an interesting course of events. And I want you to understand that. But what I want you to understand is this. We can no longer sit around and wait on people to help us. We can no longer sit around and wait on anything but the community to do what it's supposed to do. And that's just it. We can no longer put ourselves in a situation to whereas other people can dictate what's happening in the Black community. We must govern our own community by using our electoral power to put people in place, not the Democrats, not the Republicans, not the Green Party, not any party. Put people in place who are going to speak up for us at the city council meetings. We must attend the school board meetings. We must stay on the heels of the people that we have elected. Otherwise, we will suffer the consequences. We can no longer turn to celebrities unless they have immersed themselves into resolving our problems. It's easy to sit back and say, well, he's speaking for me. No, you need to make sure the person speaking for you is well versed on what's going on in your community. We all live somewhere. We can no longer ask LeBron James to help us in Chicago. John Legend, who ran for Senate, and not John Legend, Hill Harper, who ran for Senate in the state of Michigan, to help us in Illinois, and so forth and so on. Sister Crockett down there in Texas, she can do nothing for me. As much as I admire and respect her, she can do nothing for me in Illinois. I need to be in contact with the Tara Stamps, the Bennetts, the LaShawn K. Fords, the Danny Davises, and those types, because those are the people that can help us. We are in the United States of America, and it's basically a nation of states. The president of your state is the governor of your state, the Senate, so forth and so on. House of Representatives, we have all that. We have a Supreme Court and a Constitution in each state. If you are foolish enough to continue to fall or be duped into this presence of celebrities helping us, then you are losing your power. You are not using your power. So you're going to lose your power. The reason it's called a spell is because it seems as if as soon as somebody rises to the top, we figure out ways to pick them down. I don't know what's going on with Brother Combs. I don't know what's going on with Brother Carter. Y'all know him as Diddy and Jay-Z. I'm not going to concern myself with their personal lives. You know what they're here for? They're here to entertain me. If they choose to step up and be a part of the community, like a brother Jalen Rose, like a brother LeBron James, who created schools and put enhancing their communities, bravo. But we can no longer wait on them to do what we can do. They don't have the power. They have money, but they don't have the power. There's power in numbers. If you are going to continue to tell me that we control the culture, people follow us, people set forth boundaries, and we set up everything. If it wasn't for us, Twitter wouldn't be hot, Facebook wouldn't be hot, Instagram wouldn't be hot, this new thing, Blue Sky wouldn't be hot. Let's make Isaac Hayes' fan base hot then. That's our thing. We need to get in our own thing. Enough of TikTok. They want to take down TikTok, we're going to go to fan base. And we're not leaving fan base because fan base is ours. You can create a base. All you guys who love attention, who want people to hit likes, guess what? You can hit a 1 cent heart. If you get 1 million people behind you or 100 pennies, put you in a nice position. That's all I'm saying. We need to take away this mask that's been put over our eyes that we have been blinded by. We can no longer go around blinded. That's what a spell does. It blinds you from reality. And that's why I got a sorcerer on there, because we seem to be in a spell believing that people like us, they don't stop with the foolishness. Most people in this country don't like us. Donald Trump did not cheat to win that election. 85% of, collectively 85 to 87% of Black people in the United States of America voted for Vice President Harris. Guess what? Everybody else is like 50, 50, 60, 40, or even higher no for Vice President Harris. Why don't we just acknowledge that? See, that's the spell. We keep trying to put the blame somewhere else. See, this is the problem. No, that's not the problem. The problem is you refuse to acknowledge what's going on. That's it. That's all. When you get, look at this thing. For 20 years, people have been trying to say, Diddy. I don't care if he did or didn't. If he did, he will receive justice for his behavior. And I don't mean in a court of law. I don't mean some judge in the gavel. Justice is this, and in simple terms, the reward or punishment for your behavior. He will receive justice. It's not for up to us to give it to him. But what I do have a problem with is this: the fact that we stand on the sidelines and cheer louder than anybody. When you get to this point, when I'm sick of the Bulls winning, it's time for them to lose. No, it's not. I'm sick of this team, this guy, LeBron James. I don't like him. I don't like Kobe Bryant. Then he dies and he's everybody's favorite ball player. Nobody works like Kobe. Why couldn't we love him while he was here? Allen Iverson got the same treatment. Denzel Washington, he getting old now. You say one person and then you have to say a counter person to tear that person down. Why can't we celebrate both? We can do that. It's enough of us. Guess what? In order to like Michael Jackson, you don't have to hate Prince. You can love Don Cheadle and love Denzel Washington. You can love Spike Lee and Ryan Coogler. You can love Spike Lee and Ryan Coogler and love Tyler Perry. Why must every time a Tyler Perry movie come out, we must identify what we're not going to like and what's wrong with Tyler Perry's productions and then watch? Guess what? We should be celebrating that man, because guess what? While all the people in Hollywood always complain and pissing and moaning about them not getting enough money, you ever notice they never say that about Brother Perry? They never say that about Brother Tyler Perry. I mean, he don't pay us enough, because he does. He gives you exactly what you're looking for, and that's not enough. We have to, he needs to do this. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't, because the last time I checked, none of you guys are millionaires. None of you guys are billionaires that's doing this. Look, is his art perfect? No. And nobody else's art is perfect either. So why are we holding him to a standard that nobody else is being held to? How about this? We celebrate our brother, and then we have him help us pay the way to a better future in the United States of America and the community. So you can have him pay for the art programs and things of that nature. Why don't you have ask Brother Perry to do what he can to make sure it's another Tyler Perry coming around? We don't do that. We're too busy saying, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. And that's what brought it today. How could you not like Dr. King, who left his life? He literally gave up his life in hopes to help you. Malcolm X. Why is it that you know faster than Malcolm X used to? Why is it that when we identify Malcolm X, we know that he was a pimp, hustler, player, thief? I don't need to know that. You know what he was? I only know you by what you did for the remainder of your life. For about 5 or 6 years, he was a criminal. And for the rest of his life, he paid the cost, and then he was a person of other people. Dr. King, well, he had extramarital affairs. Well, your friends steal, cheat, drug deal. You might even know a few murderers. Are you identifying them? Is this my friend who cheats on his wife? Oh, this is my friend who steals. This is my friend who robs people. This is my friend who sells dope. You don't do that. So we need to stop doing our heroes like that. As I do every week, every day, I give you a little history, a little Black history. Here's a little Black history of something that you didn't know about. I'm only going to play a portion of it. I want you to go to www.thaendofdabench.com. I'll put that up on the screen in a little while, www.thaendofdabench.com, and you can watch the entire video, and you'll be able to see history right in front of you, and we'll be able to get things done. Just a second. Let me pull this up on the screen. This is your man, HRap. We're going to celebrate our history every day. 2 fingers, 1 word. Out.
A Black man, simply named in the 1940s. A brand was launched featuring the image of a smiling, elderly Black man, simply named Uncle Ben. But behind his friendly facade was a legacy tainted by racial stereotypes that continue to persist. This image invoked a troubling past where Black identity was monetized and individuality was reduced to a caricature. So join us today while we uncover the layers of the racist story of Uncle Ben's rice. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. In the early 20th century, food technology saw remarkable advancements, particularly in that of rice processing with the development of the Hasenlaub process. This innovative method was created by German chemist Heinrich Hasenlaub with collaboration with British chemist Francis Heron Rogers. The process involved vacuum drying, steaming, further vacuum drying before dehusking the rice. Not only did this enhance the nutritional value of the rice, but it also reduced the cooking time and improved its resistance from pests like boll weevils. During this time, Mars Inc. was established in Tacoma, Washington in 1911 by Frank C. Mars. The company had humble beginnings, with him and his son, Forrest Mars Sr., producing buttercream candies in their home kitchen. As the business grew, they moved to Minneapolis, where they developed the iconic Milky Way bar in 1923. This creation quickly became a success and laid the foundation for the company's further expansion. So in 1932, Forrest Mars sought to expand the family business internationally. During his time in the United Kingdom, he was introduced to the potential of the Hasenlaub process and partnered with Heinrich Hasenlaub. This collaboration led to the establishment of a new venture in Houston, Texas, where Mars acquired partial rights to the Hasenlaub patent, paving the way for future innovations. This was at the very beginning of World War II, and it brought challenges to food supply chains, driving the need for some creative solutions. And this necessity gave rise to the utilization of the Hasenlaub process to meet soldiers' nutritional demands. So in 1942, with Forrest Mars' leadership and the expertise of Heinrich Hasenlaub and Houston food broker Gordon Hartwell, Converted Rice Inc. was founded. This venture was instrumental in solving the logistical challenges faced by the United States and the British military forces during the war. The processed rice, rapid cook time, and enhanced nutritional value was ideal for airdropping food to remote military installations, providing the soldiers with essential nourishment. By 1959, Mars had fully consolidated its influence in the industry by purchasing the Hasenlaub's interest, integrating it into the venture Food Mars Inc. So Uncle Ben was introduced in 1946. The brand emerged as a reflection of the racial dynamics in mid-20th century America.
And that's it. I'm only going to show you that. Look, now you got interested. Now you saw why you see that. That's all I want you to do. I want you to help me and yourself. Go to thaendofdabench.com, www.thaendofdabench.com. You see it on the screen, thaendofdabench.com. Watch the remainder of the video. Hit that like, hit that share. If you just tapped in, hit that like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. But as you see, we're dealing with over 100 years of oppression and stealing of our ideas and using of us. So why must we identify what's wrong first? We have to stop identifying the wrongs in our community. We must stop using tropes like, hey, Donald Trump cheated. No. When you make the statement, in my opinion, Donald Trump may have cheated, what you're saying is people in this country may, you know what, even though they mistreat us, disrespect us, denigrate us, they do like us. No, they don't. No, they don't. You don't disrespect, denigrate, and overlook people that you actually respect. What we have to do is stop assuming that we have friends. Black people in America, we don't have any. We may have some allies occasionally when it's beneficial to them, but we don't have any friends. And if you're hearing me say black people don't have any friends, and then you're saying I do have some friends, you are the problem. I'm not talking. I said black people. I didn't say you. You're watching. I don't mean collectively. I have some people outside of the culture that are my friends, but I mean as a collective. Because if we had friends, we would have the two of the last three presidents. As a matter of fact, the last three presidents would have been Democrats, and it would have been Hillary Clinton, and maybe Vice President Harris at this point. The fact that we don't have friends the fact that they are not in play lets you know that we don't have friends. And it's not oh man, I'm angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm angry with us for not realizing that we need to get our act together and stop tearing down each other. You cannot like something. I am not a fan of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan gave me some of the greatest basketball moments in the history of me watching television and going to the United Center, aka the Chicago Stadium. I am not a fan of Kobe Bryant, but I enjoy rooting against him because you know what? More times than not, Kobe was not going to let you down. So you don't have to like things to respect it. We must respect everybody in our community. We don't have to like anyone. We are not trying to have children and be in relationships with each other. We want to respect and protect each other. Your sisters, your elders, your mothers, your aunts, your uncles, and mine the same. That's what we have to do. Stop getting on the anti-whoever they're trying to excoriate this weak train. If Sean Combs and Sean Carter has done something that warrants them to be arrested, again, as I stated at the top of the show, they will receive justice, a reward or a penalty for their actions. We don't have to be on the Joe Budden's podcast, on the Matt Hoffa podcast, and any other podcast discussing what we used to call penis watching. Why are we concerned with these guys inserting their penises? If they're hurting children, if they're hurting the disenfranchised, again, they will receive justice. We don't have to drive the bus to the penitentiary and let them off. It's enough of us being excoriated and disrespected to do that. Another thing, and this is the most important thing I'll say today if you ask me, why is it that we have to have perfect people in office for us? Our politicians, oh, well, he got this and he lied about this. He needs to be perfect. No, he doesn't. This dude, he didn't do this. He ain't doing nothing for the community. Act before you say somebody who's in front trying to do something for the community isn't doing anything for the community. Ask yourself a couple of questions. What are you doing for the community? What are you doing? What tangible thing can you put your hand on and say, I did this, whether it's do a podcast, whether it's start a book drive or clothing drive or anything? What did you do? The next question is, why am I so critical of this person? Why am I being critical of this person? Am I being critical just to talk, or am I being critical to talk to people so we can rally the troops and stand up and make sure we get these gatekeepers out of the way and uplift our community? And third and most important, why I'm complaining that they're not doing anything. What exactly do I want them to do? It's easy to say. When I was coming up, it was Reverend Jackson and Al Sharpton. And occasionally you hear the great minister, Louis Farrakhan. All three of those men great. I didn't mean to just throw it great on the most honorable Louis Farrakhan, but Oh, they ain't doing enough. What exactly are you doing? Why are you complaining? And what do you want them to do? Those are questions we have to ask ourselves. We don't have to have perfect people in leadership. We have to have a perfect game plan so we can get ourselves out of this oppressive state that we have been living in for over 160 years. As emancipated people in this country in over 400 years, period. I need us to get out of this mentality of what somebody else isn't doing. We don't need another Marcus Garvey. We don't need another Dr. King. We don't need another Noble Drew Ali. We don't need another any of these people. We don't need another person to do it when you can do it. No matter how small you are. And if you only know 3 people, you can influence 3 people, you've influenced 3 more people to enhance the community. And if they can influence 3, and if they can influence 3, and if they can influence 3, what we need to do, instead of focusing on the fact that Sean Carter is under duress now or over accused sexual deviance, and Sean Combs is already incarcerated. You know what we need to be worried about? The fact that this man at the healthcare department, or the healthcare company that is the #1 denier of health claims, was murdered on the streets of New York last week. It's a horrible situation. I don't really have a lot of empathy for him, but I do have empathy for his family, because if you are heading up an industry that's letting people die, hey, to quote the great Malcolm X, I'm not an old farm boy, but it seems like the chickens came home to roost. But while the chickens came home to roost, and we're laughing, a lot of people on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media outlets are laughing at this man's death. This is what I want you to think about. They described the dude who killed him as a light-skinned man. Now, I've been in America for 54 years. If you say light skin, that's a synonym for black man. When they showed this man's picture, he was stone cold Caucasian. At the worst, he was Latino. But I'm going to say he was a stone cold Caucasian. So when you say this is a light skinned man, guess what? That put the police on the high alert. If they didn't see the picture, they said this is the light skinned man. They got people looking for darker Latino people and light skinned blacks. Just like back in the day when Susan Smith said, this black man kidnapped my kids, and she had threw her children off the bridge. Or like when that dude in Boston, Charles Stewart, had the police running up in people's crib because he said somebody shot my wife in the stomach. Come to turn out, he killed his wife. So while we worried about if Jay-Z going to go to jail, one individual, what about the fact that these cops are going to be stopping, frisking black men and others who are similar to black men and frisking them for no reason at all, throwing them to the ground like in Memphis. And then you're going to have people like the mayor of Memphis talking about we're not going to listen to the reports that we got. We're going to do something else. What about, look at all the money. Look, it cost them this much money in Chicago. Well, it cost them this much money. Well, how much money is a life, homeboy? Mayor Young, Memphis, Tennessee, how much is a life worth? You know what they spend in Chicago annually? They have spent $765 million on paying out the police jackrolling people. So while we worried about Sean Combs, while we worried about Sean Carter, the Department of Justice in Memphis saying that the entire 60% black town with a black mayor, and they sitting around saying, hey man, it might cost too much not to treat black people right. And then they got in New York City, it's a dude who killed a man in cold blood, and instead of saying it was a white man, 6'1", ... they said it was a light-skinned man, which puts the police who hear that on alert. Go get some black people. With that being said, thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, smash that like, thumbs up, whichever it says on your computer or your phone. Man, hit that algorithm so this can go out. 2 fingers, 1 word. I am HRap B.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why